before this video start, I forgot to mention this because I'm a dumbass. The codes from the live stream I'm going to put in the description and the comments below. So if you just want to pick those up and then leave, go ahead and do so. But yeah, I'll just let past me talk for like 15 minutes. Yo, what is going on, everybody? So the Korean live stream happened last night while I was asleep for solo leveling, and yeah, the 1 year anniversary is looking to be pretty solid. Surprisingly, I'm shocked that we're actually getting a decent soul, or not decent soul leveling anniversary, but a decent anniversary. So I just want to take a quick moment and kind of go over some things. First things first, for those of you who do care, apparently this game is collabing with a K-pop group called Idol. I don't exactly know what that means, but yay, I guess. But firstly, we're getting a new story. It's covering some new arc. I'm guessing, I think it was in the manhwa. I did hear about this loosely at some point in time. Something with a raid plus the school that Jinwoo's little sister goes to. So should be pretty good there. We are getting a level cap increase from 105 to 110. So it does come with the usual goodies, I guess, with the activity fund tier, being higher. You're getting additional gate difficulty plus bond rewards. Plus, I think this also comes with a job change as well. So you do get additional sweet points for Jinwoo, plus an overall increase in total power. For the job change conditions, you do need to reach a total power of 250,000 with Jinwoo. You need to be level 100. You do need to clear the new story that does come out, and you need to clear at least level 50 of the Battlefield of Trials. Another benefit that does come with the job change is that you do get access to one of the new blessing stones that does come out with this update. And with this update, we are getting like 9 blessing stones, I believe. And from what I've heard, they look to be okay. But the one thing I am noticing with them is that they are trying to encourage different stat points that you put into the Jinwoo. So we might see a shift in the meta build for what Jinwoo is going to be. But I wouldn't be too surprised if it doesn't happen with this update, just because I don't believe the blessing stones look to be that impactful. But I could be wrong. So I would be looking forward to that. In terms of the additional things that we are getting some artifact crafting. I don't know if this is a permanent thing or an event, but we are being able to craft artifacts. I wouldn't be too surprised if they're going to be a bit stingy with the currency for this, but it is a nice bonus to be added. From the looks of it, you do consume 2 different types of currencies, one of which lets you craft the main stat, and another one lets you craft the substat, or 2 substats, up to 2 substats on whatever artifact you do choose. And then from the looks of it, you need to use some sort of manual or ticket plus what looks to be like an armor plating of some sort to craft the artifacts themselves. So yeah, that looks to be a good change. In terms of the new guild boss, they revealed the normal difficulty on the Korean live stream, which looks to be 1.2 to 1.25 million power requirement for normal. And for easy, which was revealed on the JP live stream, it looks to be 850 to 900k power requirement, or not power requirement, but suggestion, I guess is a better word. Which, if you've been playing for a while and have been fairly active, is not impossible to reach. Now, in terms of hard mode, I'm not entirely sure what this could be. I wouldn't be surprised if it hit at least like 1.7. So that's gonna be pretty difficult to reach for any player, really, unless you've been like tryharding this game for a while and have been extremely active with this game. Then it's not going to be impossible. But for players such as myself, who hasn't really been keeping up to date with everything, I sure shit would not be able to hit that. But fortunately for me, I have, I believe, a month until they release hard mode. I think they said it comes out like in July or something along the lines of that. So yeah, that is coming out in the next update. As long as with that we're getting, or as long with that we are getting the new Monarch that we can use, which is Yogurmut. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which is cool, I guess. From the looks of it, he's also weak to wind and water. So for those of you who built up the wind team, congratulations. Wind is now meta for a third time. And I guess that's pretty good because they did drop Goto Ryuji at some point, which kind of does make sense why Wind is the second element here. But of course, with the new 1 year anniversary, we are getting a new Cha, which she's looking to be a water character that scales with defense. In terms of her animations, I think they look pretty cool. She's looking to just be a pretty cool all around character in general. I'm not sure if she's going to have some sort of gimmick similar to like, I believe her name is UC Yoon, the girl who uses the rifle, the model, where she has a lot of defense pin in her kit. I would imagine that Cha would have something similar to kind of incentivize players to use her in the new workshop. Outside of just having higher multipliers, and let's say Alicia, for example, who's going to be the other water option. But I guess we'll see when she comes out. Maybe some information is out there that's been leaked, but I don't really look into leaks too much. We're also getting another water weapon on the 22nd. It's called Winter Fang. From what I've gathered, it looks to be a weapon that uses the power gauge, which is the resource used for your ultimate, to use its special attacks. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to look. I believe they also mentioned that they're going to have some sort of, I guess, benefits for the power gauge in terms of gaining it back with this set with this weapon. I guess we'll see how good the weapon is when it releases. But I would imagine that if you do have the Shadow Kings or Baron's daggers plus the new Windsword that came out, you're probably good to go on this new uh, fucking event. Anyway, I drew a blank there. On top of that, we are getting a new instance dungeon, which is going to be Baru. I don't think anything new is coming out with that. It's just another instance dungeon that we can farm. But in terms of improvements and changes they've mentioned, apparently the break performance of some of the hunters that we have is going to get buffed. So the characters that they have listed is Bayek, the light one, Emma, Gogun Hee, Wu, Isil, Harper, Lim, which is the bow guy, and Jiwoo, which is the water breaker that came out on launch. So I guess we'll see how good they're going to be now. Some of these characters, I'm not sure why they're getting buffed, like Isil, for example, or even Harper, I would even argue as well, or Gogun Hee. Personally, I felt as though their break was pretty good, but I guess we'll take a free buff. Assuming it is a buff. It could be a nerf, but I highly doubt they would go down that route. Plus some other improvements that we are getting is that we're getting a gold reward increase for the activity fund by apparently 3 times the amount that we normally have now, which should be pretty impactful. As well, we are getting additional rewards for the daily and weekly missions. We're getting more gold we're getting more gold, and we're also getting abyssal fragments added. In terms of how they're being implemented, I'm not entirely sure, but a welcomed addition. Free stuff is free stuff, if you ask me. We're also getting multiplay for the simulation gate, which means that, for example, if you have 2 tickets, because I believe the max is like 2 tickets, you can consume 2 tickets to do a total of 1 run. But they did add a stipulation where if you're playing on higher difficulties, you can only get 1 reset, even though you're using 2 tickets. So do keep that in mind. We're also getting the Dragon back and Guild Boss. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to add the ult system of the Guild Boss being weak to every element or keep the Ant Queen system, but I guess we'll see when it comes out. We are also getting additional armory slots plus an armory level expansion from level 7 to level 10. We already have the armory slots, excuse me. You can now select the armory currency that you wish to use. So you either switch between the Essence Stones or the Hourglasses, which I think is a welcome addition because it allows you to save the low-level Hourglasses just for leveling up the weapons in the first place. But I have heard that the price of using Essence Stones does get pretty hefty later on, so it might just be better just to save just to spend the Hourglasses in the Essence Stones, considering that it gets harder and harder as you play the game longer. In terms of some of the events, we are getting a new mini game, which is cool, I guess. I don't particularly care, but for those of you who do, yeah, I'm not entirely sure if the rewards are a weekly or daily thing. I guess we'll find out when the game does come out, or when the update comes out. As well, we are getting some free, like some really good goodies as login rewards, I do believe. I believe it's the standard, 7, 14, 21 day login rewards. So we're getting a transcendent Blessing Stone Selection Chest, which is the red rarity Blessing Stones that you need to craft. We get to choose one. I'm not sure if it's going to include the new Blessing Stones, but I wouldn't be too surprised if it doesn't. We are also getting a SSR Hunter selection ticket for the first anniversary. I'm not sure what hunters are going to be included on this, but if I had to guess, it's probably going to be up to Goto Ryuji. We are also getting a SSR exclusive hunter weapon selection ticket. Probably the same thing. It's going to go up to Ryuji's weapon itself. And it is in order of what I said. It's probably going to be 7 days for the Blessing Stone, 14 for the hunter selection, and 21 for the hunter weapon selection, which doesn't look to be too bad. On top of that, we're also getting 365 SS Stones every day, starting from the 8th, ending on June 4th, which looks to be up to a total of 10,220 Essence Stones, which that's pretty damn good if you ask me. I think that's probably close enough to get a new character or to get pity on any summon that you want to go for. On top of that, we're also getting a anniversary mission challenge, which I believe you just do various tasks in the game that you would normally do, and you collect points. We can get up to 100 tickets plus 1.5 million gold, 100 custom draw tickets, the standard banner. My apologies. That's looking to be pretty good as well. On top of that, we're getting a new dice event. I think this probably follows a similar format where you do various tasks, you get dice, or I would say on top of that, you do instance dungeons and gates, and I believe you get dice from that as well. And from this event, we're actually getting some pretty solid stuff. We do get like free to play hunter weapons, if you know what I mean. The type of weapons that you'll get and then immediately drop. It is plushies of Tank, Beru, and Igris. And on top of that, we're getting a Sun Jin Woo weapon selection from this as well. I'm not entirely sure what will be included on this, but it's probably going to include the new Wind Sword if you do want to go for that. But I guess we'll see when it comes out. On top of that, we are also getting extra reward or an event for extra rewards for gate clears from the 15th ending to roughly the 21st, and from the 29th ending on roughly June 5th. From this, we're getting an extra 36,500 gold plus 5 level 2 weapon enhancements. I'm assuming this is per clear, which this looks like to be a perfect time to just use Essence Stones to clear gates or to clear additional gates if you want to. I'm not entirely sure how smart that is, but you do you. On top of that, starting from the 22nd and ending on the 28th, we're getting a 1.5 clear XP boost for gates, which is cool. Allows for you to catch up if you really need to, or in my case, try to reach the level cap on my alt account. Additionally, we are having a first anniversary daily mission event starting from the 22nd, ending on the 12th. This is how you obtain the Jinwoo event from the costume event that they had. Jinwoo costume, for the costume event that was drawn by a fan. Personally, don't really like it, but for those of you who do, that's how you obtain it. That's free. On top of that, we are getting what looks to be a costume selection event that comes out. I believe you get to choose one costume for free. Not entirely sure what costumes are included and up to what character they're included for. But you already know, if the succubus costume is in there, that is a mandatory pickup for myself. I wouldn't be too surprised if they find a way to monetize this as well for those of you who spend, but don't hold me to that. And I believe that pretty much covers everything. Oh, well, no, I missed one more thing. After the maintenance, we are getting an additional reward, or additional rewards. A thank you from the dev team, which actually, this looks to be pretty cracked. We're getting 10 million gold, another hunter selection ticket, and another hunter exclusive weapon selection ticket. I believe it's probably going to be the same ticket we're going to get it from the login bonus. So basically 2 free hunters, 2 free weapons, plus 13 million gold, I believe, in total. Just for logging in, which is insane. But that pretty much covers everything. Let me know how you guys feel about this anniversary, if you're looking forward to it. If you have Essence Stones saved up, if you're going to go for charge, just going to be stubborn and use Alicia. In terms of me, I'm pulling Chaw. I kind of have to, but I'll be very curious if Alicia is even usable in the new workshop in the first place. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hope that you have a great day. And yeah, I'm not good at these things.